What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to be playing against one of my good friends on Discord, Murkiri, and I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Pretty cool guy. He's on Jack's Discord. He's on the Pokemon Trainer Tower Discord, and we're going to be playing a best of 3, just pretty much for practice for both of us. I want to kind of test my Mimikyu, Snorlax, and my Persian team in a best of 3 format, because that's what we're going to be playing at mid-season showdowns and regionals. So we're going to get straight into it. I didn't really want to keep him waiting all too long, and I do apologize with the reflection in my glasses. I can't really do anything about that. I did not want to have my contacts in. So he's going to have a team, really interesting team right away. So he has the 2 Tapus and the Tapu Koko and a Lele for a Mosa. I know he likes Mosa because he gave me a Mosa Clefairy team, which was pretty cool. The Drifblim, and the Arcanine, and Garchomp. Alright, so pretty tough matchup we have right here. There's really no reason for him not to lead the Drifblim and the Lele, because I won't be able to fake out with my Persian. He could just go for a Moonblast. I gotta get rid of that Drifblim somehow, because I can't hit it with my Snorlax either. I can't really do too much to it with my Kartana. He's really got me here. I think I'm going to have to go with my Mimikyu right here. Don't necessarily know whether or not my Twinkle Tackle will actually take him out. Who else do I want to go with? I think I'm going to go with the Tapu Fini as well to get rid of the Psychic Terrain. I'm definitely going to bring the Snorlax in the back. Who else do I want to bring right here? The Arcanine actually isn't looking all too bad, but if Psychic Terrain isn't on the field, I'm going to end up bringing my Persian right here to just go for fake outs and just support the rest of my team so that I can go for quashes. I really do have to focus down on getting rid of that Drifblim, because I'm now noticing, and I think I played Murkiri before in a best of 3 on Showdown, and my team is incredibly Drifblim weak. Because I can't fake it out, and the only thing that can really take it out on my team is my Mimikyu, and Mimikyu doesn't have a Ghost EMZ, it has the Fairy EMZ, which I don't believe takes out the Drifblim. I haven't run the calculations on that. So he's going to lead with the Tapu Koko and the Pheromosa. Okay, so interesting lead. The Pheromosa has like Venom, Downpour, probably take out my Tapu Fini, but you have to imagine that he wants to take out my Mimikyu, because Trick Room is a pretty safe play on my part. He can go for a switch out as well onto his Tapu Koko. Not a switch out necessarily, but a Volt Switch, bring in his Lele, have Psychic Terrain up, and then benefit from that as well. I'm in a tough spot because I can't really protect with my Mimikyu, but if I get a Trick Room, it's definitely going to benefit my team. So I'm going to try to get up Trick Room right here. I don't think he goes for a attack into the Tapu Fini. If he does, I'm going to get up Trick Room. So let's go ahead and see what happens here, right here. So he's going to go for the attack into the Tapu Fini. Okay. Let's see what the Tapu Koko goes for. Into the Tapu Fini. So probably calling me on my specs, or maybe just allowing me to get up Trick Room. Because I could have very, very comfortably have gone for a Protect right there and a Trick Room. Let me see. I can easily bring in my Snorlax right here. Because I can go for... Well, he could definitely be sashed. Go for a Twinkle Tackle. I don't even have to go for a Twinkle Tackle. I can just go for a Play Rough and a return into the Pheromosa. I think that's the play he was going for. Basically a force to switch into the Snorlax so that he can go for a Fighting EMZ into the Snorlax. Looks like it's going to be High Jump Kick as well. So I honestly could just go for a Fell Play right there. He's definitely going to be Focus Sashed. If it's not Focus Sash, obviously it's going to be a Z move. If I go, my Snorlax goes down right here, obviously I'm not gaining very good information, so I could go for the double up into the Pheromosa. Pheromosa could always switch out too. Let's see what the Pheromosa can go into. We can go into the Drifblim, which would be kind of annoying. But I'm going to have to go for that play because I can't allow him to get a clean Oko into my Snorlax. He calls me on that, so wow, I could have definitely gone for a belly drum, so Really good call, very good read on his part. Definitely assessing the threat, which is Pheromosa. And he's going to go for a Volt Switch, break my disguise into the Mimikyu. So he is playing incredibly well right now. Incredibly well. I'm gaining a lot of good information. And I do have my pen and my notebook, so I'm going to go ahead and take some notes right here. So he's got the Volt Switch, he's got the Thunderbolt on the Tapu Koko. Didn't reveal any type of item or anything like that. The Pheromosa has Protect. And Poison Jab, likely High Jump Kick, and maybe Ice Beam. Maybe Speed Stop as well, but there's no Snorlax on his team. Usually only see Speed Swap on Pheromosa with the Snorlax teams. Alright, so playing very, very well right now. Definitely reading me very well. I think the Arcanine will be able to underspeed my Mimikyu right here. It's kind of unfortunate, and the Pheromosa will be able to switch out as well. I don't think he necessarily wants to lose his Pheromosa, but does anything want to switch into a play rough and a return, unless it's the Drifblim? But I don't think he brought the Drifblim, so I'm going to go ahead and go for double up into the Pheromosa. I think the Pheromosa, him losing the Pheromosa right here isn't that big of a deal. No, he's actually going to withdraw the Pheromosa. So there are a bunch of opportunities allowing me to set up belly drums, which is kind of reckless, but it also works out on his part. So it's actually it's a pretty good play, because this definitely will be able to take out the Tapu Koko. Yep, this should be able to take out the Tapu Koko, barring like an extreme amount of bulk. Or maybe I'm just completely underestimating the amount of power that the Mimikyu can output, because apparently it's extremely weak. So I can go for a fake out right here, and then I could potentially go for another play lock from the Tapu Koko, what it's likely going to protect. How many turns? So we have Roar on the Arcanine. Roar on the Arcanine. And that's pretty much all I've seen so far. I've written down everything else. How many turns of Trick Room do we have left? We have one more turn of Trick Room after this. I think I'm going to end up going for a Shadow Claw and fail. Don't think I want to do that. To double up into the Arcanine is pretty obvious because it does reveal the Roar. But if one of my Pokemon go down right here, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to go for the Shadow Claw right into the Koko. 100% accurate, so I'm not going to risk a miss or anything like that. He's going to withdraw the Arcanine. See who he comes into. He's going to go be the Tapu Lele. So Fail Play actually isn't that unreasonable. And if he doesn't protect the Tapu Koko, maybe anticipating a Fake Out, I'll be able to get the KO with the Shadow Claw. Yep. So we're going to be able to get the KO with the Shadow Claw. We should do about, I have to say about at least 10%, 15% to the Tapu Lele with the Foul Play. Actually, right around the money. So we're going to have one more turn of Trick Room right here. Arcanine's going to come in. It's going to Intimidate, would actually it means a whole lot to the Mimikyu, but his play right here is to easily go for the Psychic into the Mimikyu, because, or no, I can just actually, well, I am adamant. Depends on how fast this Tapu Lele is, because it could very well go for a Psychic into the Mimikyu, anticipating to underspeed me, which would outspeed me under the Trick Room. Could also switch into my Snorlax, but Snorlax would get a ton of damage onto it. Actually, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to switch into my Snorlax, get the Intimidate off of me, and then I'm going to go for a Parting Shot. He could very well go for a Moonblast, though. So I'm going to go for the Twinkle Tackle. And then I want to switch out into my Snorlax, but it's not going to let me. Yep, so there is an incredible amount of lag when it comes to using the stylist on the bottom screen. It's going to go for an Inferno Overdrive. Okay, so Z-move Arcanine. So this is definitely going to be based off of Flare Blitz. It's going to go into the Persian, I'd imagine, because of... Okay, because a Flare Blitz with at least max attack, Arcanine would have been able to take my Mimikyu out. So a little unnecessary, but that's okay. Just guaranteeing the win, because that will be able to take me out. So even if I tried to pull off what I had originally wanted to pull off, it didn't work. Because he goes for the Inferno Overdrive. He knocks out my Mimikyu, and then I wouldn't have been able to get off the Twinkle Tackle into his Tapu Lele, and he goes for the Moonblast into my Persian, which actually was going to be the Snorlax. So I guess it kind of did matter, because then I'd be able to bring in my my Persian the following turn. Although we could just definitely go for another Fake Out, not a Fake Out, but a Moonblast. So what do I want to do for the next game? I got to write in Moonblast, and I can't determine whether or not that's Specs or not, because regular Tapu Lele just OHKOs me. Let's see here. I want to see. I don't necessarily want to reveal the high horsepower. I want to see how much a neutral return does to the Tapu Lele. I think he runs pretty bulky Lele. He's going to bring in the Mosa. Okay, so we're going to get the calculation on the Mosa. He's going to look for a Flare Blitz into the Snorlax. See how much this does. Okay, so that's that's definitely max attack Arcanine. And this will probably bring down the Sash, I'd imagine, yeah. Critical, I don't think the critical hit mattered, because Mosa has despicable defenses, and that was a stab attack. And not that I'm like max attack or anything like that. And let's see how much this does to the Arcanine. I imagine that I'm going to die to a high jump kick anyway. Hey, just going to protect, okay. So we're at least going to find out the damage calculation onto the Arcanine in neutral. We're gaining some good information right here. He's got the Flare Blitz. Again, it's definitely max attack. It's doing way too much. I think I'm like 180 HP and like 244 defense. I'm like all bulk and I'm relaxed. Literally all bulk. Snorlax. There's really no reason to have attack investment for a belly drum set. I have like maybe 58 attack. Pretty broken if Snorlax had extreme speed. But at least we gained some good information out of this. So the Arcanine has Flare Blitz, and that KOs, yeah. That's completely understandable. There's really no reason for it not to. It could have very well have missed. But I think if it misses right there, we still lose anyway, because the Arcanine just gets a Flare Blitz into us, and then the Tapu Lele just outspeeds us anyway and goes for a Psychic, yeah. Or else I could have just went for a Recycle, and then the Arcanine goes ahead and like dies to Flare Blitz Recoil, which probably wouldn't have happened that turn. It happened the following turn, but the Tapu Lele still comes in and goes for a Psychic. You can just see the reflection of the screen off of my glasses, which is kind of annoying, but I really don't want to take them off, because if I were to take them off, I wouldn't be able to see. So we gained a lot of good information out of that game. I'm going to have to make some adjustments. The Mosa really is threatening. I could have definitely have... I can't protect my... I think he might know that I'm Specs and I can't protect it, because I do post my teams on Discord, which is... which allows me to be at a disadvantage when I am playing with people familiar with my team. But that's something that you can definitely suspect when you're playing against this team, that the Feeny would be Specs, because Wolfie ran it at Worlds, and this is based off of Wolfie's team anyway. Alright, so what kind of adjustments do I need to make? I lost the Feeny way too early. I did get up a Trick Room, but it really didn't help me out whatsoever. I basically led based off of the Lele and the Drifblim lead, so I'm inclined to lead that same again. Would Arcanine help me out? I think Arcanine would have helped me out, but the Lele still would have been able to just OHKO my Arcanine, because I feel like it's a Specs variant, or it's just like some type of like thick berry variant, maybe Calm Minds, but I feel like it's Specs. Kartana might be useful right here. I think he just has a very good matchup against my team, like an overwhelmingly well matchup against my team, which kind of puts me at a disadvantage to begin with, but you have to fight around those. Alright, so I'm going to lead... I'm gonna lead the Mimikyu. I know that for a fact. I think I'm just gonna lead the Mimikyu. What did I lead last time? The Mimikyu and the Feeny. I'm gonna lead Mimikyu, Snorlax. I don't like that, but I'm gonna have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. Pheromosa is a huge problem for this team. I mean, I do have the Arcanine with extreme speed, which would actually probably bring it down to Sash, which is kind of sad. But it is, I think we did reveal that it's a Focus Sash variant, right? Am I not paying attention? I should be paying attention. I should be taking notes. I'm trying to pay attention here. All right, so the Lele and the Pheromosa. Okay, that is a pretty good lead. So I should have led the Arcanine. Would have probably been a good lead. All right, if only I had Protect on my Mimikyu or my Snorlax, because I could easily go for Protect and Trick Room right here. But then again, I think he goes for the double up into the Snorlax. Because again, I think I revealed this team, and he knows I don't have Protect. Yeah, I have high horsepower over Protect. I don't think he wants to lock himself into Psychic, although he would benefit from the terrain, because I could very easily switch it into my Persian. Yeah, Pheromosa is a huge problem, like, huge problem for this team. I think I'm basically forced to go for a Trick Room right here, and I'm just going to Belly Drum. This seems really stupid. The timer's counting down. I could have went for a Twinkle Tackle into the Tapu Lele. Let's see what he goes for. I think he's just going to go for the Mimikyu. Yep. Go into the Mimikyu. Gets a Poison, which is alright. Let's see what the Tapu Lele goes for, though. I think trying to get rid of Trick Room right here is more important. And the Tapu Lele is either max speed or Scarfed, because it outsped my Mimikyu. And I'm going to get a Belly Drum off, but I don't really think it's worth it. That's why I said to myself, if I had Protect on Mimikyu, probably be pretty good, because then I could just go for the attempt to go for the Trick Room the following turn, or at least redirect attacks away from my Snorlax. And I can't go for the Fake Out, unfortunately. I'm still going to bring in my Persian, because I can basically flaunt the Quash, because he's probably going to know if I have Quash, if he knows my team this well. And then switch out the Lele and just go for the high jump kick with the Pheromosa, because he knows I can't go for a Fake Out, because that's pretty much my only option. He could obviously switch into Drift Limb on the Lele slot, which would be really good, because the Quash and then the return into that slot wouldn't mean anything. Because my Quash really isn't going to be doing too much. I'm not going to be able to Quash the Pheromosa at all. I'm not going to be able to Quash the Pheromosa at all. So I think my play right here is to Quash the Lele. He has to switch out into the Drift Limb. There's absolutely no way that he doesn't not switch out into the Drift Limb. So, you know what? I have to kind of play risky. If I were him, I would just stay in with the Lele. Yeah, he's just going to stay in with the Lele. So I could have easily just gotten a KO. That actually KOs. Wow, I didn't know that. So that's a calculation that I need to prepare for. Alright, so foul play into the Pheromosa. Well, it got an attack rise, so this is a calculation that I can actually write down. Is he going to go for a Psychic? Yeah, because he's definitely choiced. I'm going to go into the Arcanine. So definitely good. This is going to be a quick 2-0 sweep. Very good games to Murkiri. This is great information for me, because I know that I'm extremely Pheromosa weak. Don't necessarily know whether or not I can do anything about that. Obviously, the Tapu Fini would help me out, but the fact that he can go for a Poison Jab and then a Psychic or Moonblast into my Fini really doesn't help me out either, because I can't Protect, although I originally wanted to go with a Calm Mind set. You could just go for the high jump kick into my Persian, and I can't really do anything about that, because I can't, there's nothing I could do about that. Because that'll knock me out. Even though I have the Fur Coat ability, there's no way that I'm surviving that. And, let's see if this Tapu Lele's Choice Scarfed. Well, it's going to outspeed my Arcanine anyways. Yeah, it's going to go for the high jump kick into the Persian. There's really no reason for me to be thinking that through. Yeah, he's +1, so that would have been able to take me out. So, Pheromosa, huge problem for this team. Pheromosa, and more specifically, the Tapu Lele, because I'm going to be able to go for a extreme speed right there. And then he's just going to go for the Psychic, and it's probably taking me out. Yep, so that's Specs. Alright. So very good games for Murkiri, just completely ruining me right there. I've played 41 games with this team, and I've never been beaten that badly. So obviously, it goes to show that Pheromosa is a huge problem for this team, and I'm going to have to end up figuring that out, and hopefully I can discuss that with him to see whether or not I can actually fix the Pheromosa problem with this team. Just trying to think as to whether or not I can figure out what would be the issue against Pheromosa. I guess, like, putting Protect on my Feeny, and then the first game, obviously, I could have Trick Room and then protected my Feeny, and then the game was so much more in my favor. But obviously, potentially knowing that I have the choice specs on my Tapu Fini, going for the double up into that slot, I could have switched into my Snorlax on that slot, but it still was taking a lot of damage from the Moonblast and the Poison Jab. But very good games from Murkiri. Hopefully we can try to figure out that that Mosa weakness that my team obviously has. I haven't played Mosa at all in Battlespot. The 41 games that I've only played against Murkiri, so it's just good information to know. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out. If you do want to battle me, just leave a comment down below. I'm always up for best of threes. I'm trying to figure out weaknesses for this team so I can build on it in the future. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Have a great night. Peace.